RJ! RJ? Come on, bud, it's time to film. RJ, where the hell are you?
RJ! Well, time to sacrifice my dignity.
Are you in the closet again? RJ, come on, it's time to
Hey, boss.
Are you wearing a corset?
It would appear so. I also got the poofy skirt around my neck.
I don't think you're supposed to wear that around your neck.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out halfway through.
You know what? Don't worry about filming. I'll take care of that today. Just do you.
Thanks, boss. Whew, that was a close one.
I really need to find new friends.
Right here. Let's go.
Hi, Faceless here, and films that are adapted from video games, it's safe to say that they don't have a good track record. Of the many films that tried to give us a good story, only maybe a couple of them actually succeed. And I don't care what anyone else says, that movie there rocks. And there are times that I ask myself, well, what happened? What went wrong? Some of the storylines on these video games are actually pretty damn good. Hell, there have been some cases that people were more engaged with the story than the actual gameplay itself. In my opinion, part of the problem why these films fail is because of the anticipation of the fans of the video games that these movies are adapted from. When Hollywood grabs these franchises and put their little spin on the story and then put it on the big screen, it leaves a sour taste for the fans. And that pisses off the fans, and once you piss off the fans, you pretty much lose all your audience. And for the general public, when they watch the film of a video game they've never played before, will not really understand what the hell's going on. The other problem is that the time constraints that these films have. For games like Assassin's Creed, GTA, hell, even Call of Duty, their story development takes from 3 to 5 hours. But when you take that story's runtime and condense it into 2 hours, you're gonna run the risk of having a story that seems rushed or not coherent, or have a lot of plot holes that only fans will get. If you still haven't pissed off your fans by this point. And then you have games that have little to almost no story that are adapted to the big screen. Like any racing game or fighting tournament games, or where you're the hero and you have to jump through countless amounts of obstacles just to save a princess from a dinosaur who ends up looking like Dennis Hopper in the big screen. Oh yeah, that's right, I went there. Now the problem with adapting those games into film is a lack of story from the source material, forcing Hollywood to make up their own story, which in turn pisses off the fans even more. Which brings us to our next film, Angry Birds. If you played Angry Birds on your smartphone or even on the PC, you have a basic idea what the film is about. Pigs in the color of green come in and steal the eggs from the birds. In turn, the birds go and attack the pigs and retrieve their eggs. And that's pretty much the plot of the game. Pretty simplistic. However, the plot of the movie goes like this. The story revolves around a bird named Red, voiced by Jason Sudeikis. He lives in an island that are inhabited by happy-go-lucky flightless birds. And when I mean happy, these guys are annoyingly happy. Except for Red, who has a bit of a temper. Thanks to a birthday clown incident, Red is being ordered to attend anger management class. It's here where we're introduced to Chuck and Bomb, voiced by Josh Gad and Danny McBride, respectively. Red isn't entirely fond of the class nor the classmates, but he tolerates them to a point. Eventually the island gets visited by, you guessed it, the green pigs from a nearby island. They've claimed to come with peaceful intentions and basically party with the happy birds. However, Red doesn't trust them, mostly because they damaged his house when they landed on their boat on the shoreline. Of course the other birds see no evil in the pigs and chalk it up as Red just being a party pooper. But during a raving party, the pigs steal all the birds' eggs and leave the island. Admitting that Red was right all along, they turn to him for leadership. From here, Red rallies all the birds together, go to the pigs' island, and then begin bombarding their pig's hometown in the fashion of the video game that the film was based on. From there, you get the gist of how the story pretty much ends. Overall, I like this movie for what it is. The film had its funny moments, however, most of the good bits you saw in the various trailers leading up to the premiere of this film. The writers did add to the story from the original source, giving the characters more depth and personality. The humor is what you would expect from a film of this sort. slapstick with a dash of fart jokes. The animation was crisp and cartoony, but for the tone of what this movie was going for, it was alright. The pacing of this film does have a few speed bumps, such as the predictability of the plot, and there were some moments that were a bit cliche. To top it all off, the overall premise is a bit silly. And that's where you have to remind yourself that this movie wasn't just made for the fans, but for the children. At the end of the day, this movie is great to take the kids to see at matinee prices. So, my final rating is a C-. With the plot being simplistic and a bit silly, the writers did a decent job in adapting this video game into a movie. And what can I say? It's decent. Well, this wraps up this episode. If you have any opinions or thoughts, please leave a comment below. You can also find me on peanutbutterdisaster.com, where you'll find my previous videos and other producers and their content, so check them out. And if you hadn't done so already, hit the subscribe button below for more upcoming reviews. But until then, this is Faceless, signing off.
Right here. Let's go.
Peanut butter disaster.